last thing we did was we leveled up to level 17 down in the area around Hawksness, and I see that I have 100 hit points and 100 magic points at level 17, and that brings me great joy. I also see that I'm overflowing with gold, so like I said, and that's including dying several times on those demon knights and magi wyverns and stuff. So towards the end of the game, gold is not any worry of yours. I literally have nothing to buy with all that gold. So I can be a lot more reckless and just play how I want to play. So I'm going to go ahead and I guess it won't actually take that long here, so I'll just cast Repel. So Heal More is a pretty big game changer, and that's because up until now we've not had a good way to recover our hit points mid-fight. The heal spell is pretty trash except for the beginning of the game. The herbs were a little bit better, and that got us through a couple boss fights like the Axe Knight, the Green Dragon, and the Golem. But Heal More, every time I've cast it so far, it's gotten me all the way up to 100 hit points, even if I was down at like 20 hit points. So that's pretty huge. Magician, okay. And so that makes it, the Demon Knights don't scare me anymore at all. Because the whole point was that the only reason I was scared of those guys is they would dodge. And so I'm like, oh, I'm doing okay. I just have to hit them one more time, and then they dodge and they kill me. Something like that. And the Magi Wyverns even, they're still a little bit dangerous, but not if I'm being careful. They can put me to sleep, but the way the sleep spell works in this game is, for the player, every turn that you're asleep, the chances of you waking up gets more and more and more until I think it's about the 5th turn or 6th turn of sleep, you automatically wake up. So if I can survive about 5 or 6 hits from a Magi Wyvern, wake up, cast Heal More, then I'm not dying anymore. So they're a lot less dangerous all of a sudden. And then I did take a peek at an online guide of where to level up. I think they suggested to continue leveling up here in the area outside of Hawksness. I'm going to do a modified version of that, actually. So here's my idea. So right now I have 86 hit points. Do a little walkabout. I don't know why that Wraith did so much damage. Did he dodge? I wasn't paying attention. So if I walk around a little bit here, and maybe these enemies won't give me a chance. See, the Knight's already down to 1 point of damage. Last level up, in real time for me, it's been a day, but anybody watching this video, it was a couple minutes ago. But if I remember right, I didn't get any attack power from the level up, but I did get some more agility, which leads to defense. Anyway, so here's my idea. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And then we'll see if I die a lot or if it works, but so 94 hit points is close to topped off. I'm just gonna walk around Hawksness a little bit. And then fight as many monsters as is safe. So I am now 2-shotting green dragons. So actually that's not bad. But I'm just going to walk around the entrance here. In case I haven't made it clear, the enemies in here are like basically around the same tier as the toughest enemies on the overworld. So the only way I could level up better, or I should say get more experience, would be to actually go into the Dragonlord's castle, which is not the most efficient yet. This is actually working pretty well so far. We got a dodge. Alright. I'm down to about half health. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to step outside and I'm going to go fight weaker monsters while I let Erdrick's armor do its magic. And that's basically going to be my, I want to say, my loop. And it might take me a while to get back up to full health, but why am I doing this? I don't want my magic points to run out. My magic points run out, I have to go back home. And going back home takes time. Ugh, Goldman. I did not want Goldman. So maybe that will put a little bit of a kink in my plans here. If I go a little bit more south, I think the Goldmans stop appearing. And if I get lucky with knights, for example, I might be able to get some healing in before another battle happens. There's also something to be said for breaking up the monotony, because it does get kind of boring fighting wyverns. If you occasionally can walk into Hawksness and go fight something tougher and feel a little bit better for a little while, you can do that. And then, you know, RNG is going to be RNG. It looks like the Demon Knights have been downgraded in terms of the amount of damage they do. So one more reason that they're not... Like last level, I got killed by a Demon Knight. Now I don't think one really could kill me between the Heal More spell and my increased defense. But yeah, this is going to be our main gameplay loop. Walk around in the overworld for a while, rest up. Once we've got some hit points back, head back into Hawksness. And the strange thing about this point in the game, and I have some conjectures about why they did it, but last level I needed 3,000 more experience to get to the next level. This level I need 3,000 more experience to get to the next level. And I think it's true for the next level too. At some point it switches to 4,000 experience. And it's a little weird because if you think about that, if I had 3 levels in a row, for example, I'm getting pretty strong, I'm gonna head back to Hawksness. If I had 3 levels in a row or more that I had to gain just 3,000 experience. So actually it would become more efficient as we go because I'm getting more powerful, but I'm able to fight stronger and stronger enemies. So actually leveling up to 17 is more difficult, and then now I'm at 17, it's easier to get to the next level. And then if you know, if it keeps staying the same, then it's just easier and easier. And I have a conjecture about it, and people have dug into the code or try to understand the design of the game a bit more than me, you know. Feel free to pop in the comments. Of course, I have like 35 subscribers right now, so unless I make it big at some point, I'm just fantasizing here. But my guess is if you look at the maximum experience that you can get in the game, I'm a bit of an amateur coder, so I might be wrong about this, but the maximum amount seems to take up a certain number of bits in memory. Because it's something like, I really should look it up, but it's something like 65,000 or something around there. And I'm like, that's really close to what can be held in a certain amount of bits. And I think as they were coding the game, they're like, okay, how many bits are we going to give to experience? And then, so early in the game, you have like what is it? Like, I think it's like, you say like 8, I'm going to be a little bit off, but like 8 experience to get from like level 1 to level 2. And then suddenly it's like, well, then you need, I don't know, 40 or 50 experience to get to level 3, something like that. Like, it keeps making these huge jumps in the early game. And then in the late game, it's literally the same amount each level for a while. So 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. And then, ooh, now it takes 4,000 to level up. Like this demon knight thinks he can still kill me. I'm not even gonna use any healing yet. I'm just gonna keep toughing it out. I might walk over to a forest though, where the counters are a little bit lower. Actually, and I'll show you this, if things got like really bad, you could like leave this area entirely. Like your hit points aren't quite keeping up. You could just like leave this area entirely. Go hang out in the grass, maybe even cross that bridge over there until you're healed up again. So anyway, think about that experience thing. You know, I think they hit the upper limit of how many experience that the game could hold in the memory. And they had to slow down the progression, like how much experience you needed couldn't go up. Definitely not exponentially and not even like geometrically. They had to kind of tone it down. And I think that's kind of why the experience tables get kind of weird towards the end, is they're like, oh man, we're running out of memory and we don't want to allocate any more bits to it. I don't know, I'm kind of making this all up, but that's kind of my guess. We forget sometimes as modern gamers that how much memory a value took was actually a consideration. I was actually messing around on a, how do I say, a TRS-80 emulator this last week, because I was having these weird memories of a computer that was in my 4th grade classroom. And I'm pretty sure it was a TRS-80 4D. Now they've done some research. And that's a video for another time. But thinking about it, and it's, and I'm trying to place like, wait, where in time is this? And then I think, if I remember right, I think it was a 16K memory system. And once I realized that, I was like, oh man, like that's super primitive. And I saw things like Temple of Apshai was on there, and that's, again, a video for another day. In fact, sometime in the near future, I want to do that one because it's such a bizarre thing, and it kind of relates to Dragonlord, because I was talking about JRPGs, and how they were originally based on Western RPGs like Dragonlord, but then they kind of went their own way. And you want to look at the evolutionary path of role-playing games, computer role-playing games. Temple of Apshai was an early one, but the evolutionary path got trimmed off. Like, nothing more came out of it. Even when they re-released the first 3 Apshai games as a trilogy, it's no longer popular, because now suddenly Ultima is out and Wizardry is out. And that's kind of the direction that Western RPGs went. And then, not long after that, Dragonwire, I'm guessing, was a bit more based off of Wizardry, but with its own kind of, again, this is like basically the first JRPG. So kind of doing its own thing here. Been kind of rambling here, but actually I forgot where I was going with that. Hopefully I'll remember. Oh yeah, we're talking about memory. So I'm thinking about Temple of Apshai. The game had think it was 16K. I mean, it was on a system that had 16K of RAM. So the amount of stuff it could hold is not a lot. And I was looking through the manuals thinking about making a video, and I think I am soon. And this game, okay, so it's basically just a ripoff of D&D. It's got 6 stats, ranging from 3 to 18. And that's what D&D was up to back in the 70s and then into the 80s. So it's got those stats. You can ask the game to roll the stats for you, which it'll do once. Doesn't allow re-rolls. That's just it. Or, I always thought this was weird when I was playing as a kid. It'll say, do you want me to roll you a character, or do you want to tell me what your stats are? And as a kid, I'm like, I'll just tell you my stats. I'll just give myself all perfect 18s. And then I'll say, like, how much gold do you have? Actually, silver, but how much money do you have? What's your equipment? Do you have magic weapons? And, like, you could just tell it whatever you wanted. That's just, to me, basically cheating. But I'm like, as a kid, I never understood this. Like, why is the game asking me what my character is like? And then I started realizing that there was basically no, like, functional save feature in the game. And so what it was doing was, if you had played the game before, because there were 4 different dungeon levels, and you could farm the same dungeon level more than once if you felt like it. But if you had played the game before, when you were done playing, you're supposed to write down your stats, and then when you came back, you tell the game your stats, and then you start playing again. So again, like, no functional save feature. It's even to the point where, and I'm gonna have to explore this in the video because I didn't realize, I never survived a dungeon in Temple of Apshai. I never understood the game well enough to actually get through one. But at the end of the dungeon, if you came back out, the game would have you, like, as you were collecting treasure chests and everything, it would say, number 20, junk or something for treasure. And I was like, what is this? So as you left the dungeon, the game would remind you of what treasure you had picked up, and then it would refer you to the instruction manual where you were supposed to actually add up your own money. And then tell the game, oh yeah, Star Wyvern's no heal more as well, that's kind of annoying. You actually ended up telling the game how much money you made. So it's like, okay, here's all the treasure you got. Get out a calculator, figure it out. And then it's like, okay, now what did you get? Yeah, see, this is where I'm not quite ready to be farming in here. Yeah, see, we just both fought each other to a stalemate, so that was pretty pointless, and I wasted 10 magic points. So I actually might run away from the Star Wyvern next time. This has been a big waste of magic points. But anyway, yeah, so the game, I'm just gonna run now, this is pointless. Okay, so Star Wyverns are terrible. It's not exactly that it's, like, the Magic Wyvern's more dangerous because it can put me to sleep and then pound on me. The Star Wyvern's just annoying because it just, you want to fight a gold man. I'm in a bad mood. Anyway, so this game straight up tells you to calculate your own treasure and then be honest and report back to the game. It just blows my mind. But I think, again, why was that the design decision? Because there wasn't enough memory to deal with it in the game. The other thing that was really weird but cool was, as you went into the different rooms of the dungeon, it's very primitive graphics. You can see you're in a room, and you can see if there's treasure, and you can see if there's monsters. But you actually went to the manual, and the manual is what told you what you saw in the room. And again, that just blows my mind, but now that I understand that this game actually came out on the TRS-80 with like a whole whopping 16K of RAM or whatever it was, now it suddenly makes sense. They were doing what they could to make a nice, legitimate CRPG experience. And basically, it was almost like more like a choose your own adventure book, but then the computer would handle random encounters, and like the kind of the more crunchy combat mechanics. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that series, and it's interesting because I know. So that would be the TRS-80 with 16K of RAM. The Commodore 64, I mean the 64 is for 64K of RAM, kept those same design features when they ported the game, even though they now had a little bit more memory and storage to work with. So I think that's really interesting. Back to the point, why does Dragon Warrior have such weird leveling up requirements towards the end of the game? I think it has to do with the amount of memory they allocated to storing the XP. Yeah, I'm not even going to fight the Star Wyverns. So maybe this is just pointless. Just annoying. And maybe they're just too common in here for this to be a good place to level up. I don't know. So I've been talking a lot more than usual, and I'm 1000 XP away. Since I've been talking this whole time, I could keep talking, maybe not do a jump just yet. Thinking about the future here. Obviously, I'm going to be aiming to finish this Dragon Warrior series with the next one, because I'm going to try to grind up to level 20 here in this video, even though it's going to be over several days. And then the next one, defeat the Dragonlord, all that good stuff. There's two other video ideas I want to do that are still related, and that is, one, I'd love to take a look at the strategy guide if I can find a decent scan of it. Go ahead and do heal more. Yeah, see, 30 hit points to 100. And that's really what allows you to fight the Dragonlord finally. You get a couple whacks in on him. Gold man. You get a couple whacks on him, he hurts you for a couple turns, you heal. You know, if you show up without heal more, or the magic points for heal more, there's no way to defeat him. Maybe if you're level 30, but even then, he does have... I can't remember what his first form does. He hurt more or something. And then the second form, I think pretty well just spams a breath attack. Which is actually more fixed damage than... So even your high defense isn't going to help you. That's a pretty good design choice. Anyway, looking at the future, love to look at the strategy guide, flip through the pages and talk about what's going on with that thing, because it was a huge part of the experience for me. Probably one of the reasons I love this game so much. I think it's actually kind of funny because Final Fantasy had pretty well the same thing. So if I do a Final Fantasy series, we have to look at the strategy guide. It actually filled in a lot of the story that the game can't tell in any great detail because, again, memory limitations. All comes back to that. Oops. I think we're good in hanging out in Hoxus. And then the other thing I think would be really fun would be to take a look at a randomizer. And I don't know that I'm ready to do a whole nother playthrough, but it might be fun to run the game through a randomizer and just take a look at what it does and play a little bit at least. Or maybe I could do a highlights. If I do end up playing through the whole thing, I could do a highlights reel of, you know, playing through with a randomizer. The people who come up with randomizers, I just have to thank you guys so much because I love them. I did one for Zelda 2 and It was almost like playing Zelda 2 for the first time again. I obviously knew all the spells and I knew the things that I had to go find. I just didn't know where any of them were. And I had some pretty crazy stuff. I actually had to get through all of Death Mountain. And those of you who have played Zelda 2 before, you know what I'm talking about. I had to get through all of Death Mountain without a candle. Because I couldn't find the candle until after I defeated Death Mountain. It was a nightmare, but it was so much fun. No, Goldman, I just say no to you. Alright, so this level up's been mostly in real time, and I'm looking at my timer here. It looks like it's been 27 minutes in this portion. So that's kind of what we're looking at, is somewhere around 35 minutes-ish for a level at this point. You know, if you're grinding as efficiently as you can. And I don't think there's any better places to be grinding than right here. I could be wrong. And also at this point in the game, like, as long as you're gaining experience... Oh, I hate that excellent move, it is dodging. As long as you're gaining experience, you are heading towards the end game. You could go anywhere you want, you can get killed repeatedly, but as long as you're, occasionally killing things, gaining XP, you know, that's what we're working on right now. I don't know why this knight is doing so much damage to me. I thought I had you guys on lockdown here. And, you know, look at my magic points. I'm down 22 magic points, so I've cast Repel once and Heal More twice. That is the power of Erdrick's armor. And just being awesome. Well, I better think of something important to say for the next 350 experience. Thinking about other projects that might come up. I'm not feeling much interest in doing Dragon Warrior 2 at the moment. I actually just beat it this last year for the first time. I don't think I ever owned it as a kid, except maybe when I was in high school after it was actually cool to have a Nintendo still. And my experience with that one, the world is so big, and some of the clues and puzzles are so cryptic, and still suffers from the same atrocious encounter rates as this game. So I remember getting really far in the game, and can't even quite describe the area that it was, but I'd basically done everything except there's this I can't describe it very well. There's kind of like it's the last part. Like there's a big open world at one point because you get the ship, and then eventually you have to kind of narrow in, and you're going after you're going towards the big bad, but you're not there yet. And there's enemies just mauling you, and I kind of lost my interest, and it was exhausting because I'd go out in the ship and I'd get lost, and I think that was before smartphones, so it was like I wanted to look up a guide. I'm not even sure what was the online guide scene back then. But once you have an online guide and a good map, Dragon Warrior 2 to me is a lot more pleasurable, unless you had a strategy guide, a paper one, or like drawing your own maps or something. So anyway, as a high schooler, I tried playing through the game, and I ended up losing interest. And then just this last year, I played through. I was like, okay, I want to actually beat all the Dragonlord games. So I played through, and it was pretty decent, especially with a guide helping you figure out where to go next. I still have no idea. There's like something like a flying cloth or something. There's this really weird cryptic part where you have to like climb a tower and you have to have this item, so when you like fall off the tower and then you glide over the river and end up on the other side. And I never found the clues in game that really helped me understand how to find all the stuff I needed. So when I got a guide and did it, it was really easy, but I was like, I felt kind of cheated because I was like, how the heck was I supposed to know that? So that's my experience with Dragon Warrior 2. Dragon Warrior 3 might be fun, except, I don't know, I just want to do something different if I do that one. I've been thinking about doing like a hero and 3 goof-off playthrough or something weird. That's the game that you get to choose your party composition. You can have a martial artist, a warrior, healer, wizard, merchant, which is an okay class, but I don't know why you would use it. And the goof-off, which is a completely worthless class, except I think at a certain location in level 20, the goof-off suddenly can class change into the most powerful magic user. So it'd be kind of funny to, give myself a challenge. Ooh, level up. Alright, what do we got? Power by 12. That's nice. Response speed by 5. That's okay. Hit points by 15. 115 max hit points. 108 maximum magic points. Alright, well, let's test drive this new strength of ours, and then I am going to have to call it a day for now. And we'll get level 19 and 20 on another day. Again, I'm just going to be stitching these all together into one video because I don't want to waste everybody's time. Or, I don't know, drag it out or whatever. Yeah, I think the problem with the Star Wyverns is going to be solved here because I can two-shot them now. I'm thinking Hawksness is now the right place to be grinding. And then, again, this level is either 3,000... I should actually look. It's either 3,000 to the next level up or 4,000, so it's like, okay, suddenly I'm way more powerful, but I still need the same XP. Yeah, just 3,000 experience getting the next level, and I'm like way more powerful. So, I already explained my theory as to why the game turned out that way, but I just think that's crazy. And anyway, I think in the last clip of this video, I didn't have Gwaelin's Love. And again, that was because I had some save file problems, and so I just went and fixed that in between scenes there. You guys have already seen me get the princess, so yeah, it's pretty awesome. Walking around Hawksness, just killing these guys that are giving me trouble last level. That's fun. Alright, I might do this just a little bit longer, actually. These wizards are still a pain in the butt. And I think Ardrick's armor actually reduces the amount of damage they do. So I dread to think what would happen if I didn't have Ardrick's armor. I mean, with the Hurt More spell. One-shotting Wraiths is pretty awesome. Don't care about Goldman. Let's see, so Dragonlord 3 would be fun, but I think I would do a different kind of challenge for that one. Also, Dragonlord 2 and 3 are like super long, so definitely not going to do those anytime soon, and I'd probably have to do a lot of... I'd probably just completely skip any parts where I'm grinding and only focus on the parts where I'm advancing the story. those games are way longer than this game. And then Dragon Warrior 4, I actually haven't beaten that one yet, but it's kind of, to me, it's a coin toss between which one's better, Dragon Warrior 3 or Dragon Warrior 4. 3 has completely customizable party members. 4 has the opposite, where all your party members are sort of fixed, and you have different party members each chapter, because it unfolds like different parts of the same overall story. And then I think at the end you finally get to meet your main character. It's kind of funny like that. And there's really interesting ideas. First character you have is just a warrior. That's it. Can't cast magic. And he's by himself, except then he finds a healer, which is like a monster that just heals. That's all it does. So he's just like walking through a dungeon fighting things, and this little healer just follows him around healing him. And it's actually kind of cool way to introduce a player to the idea of a Dragon Warrior game. I know there's a chapter where you're just a merchant. I don't even know if you ever fight anybody. You just go around like buying goods and selling them for a higher price. I don't know why, but I love that. And then later, you're like some martial arts princess with some like, I think it's like there's like a wizard and a priest that follows you around. So you're a martial arts princess with a magical support and healing. I think that's as far as I got, unfortunately, because one of the problems I have is I tend to grind way too much. You give me a RPG and you're like, hey, you're allowed to grind as much as you want before you advance to the next stage. Like, I'll just sit there and grind to ridiculous levels. Like all of Final Fantasy, all the later Final Fantasies where you can get to level 99, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get all my party members to level 99 before I go for the end boss. I think the worst, most busted one I ever did was Final Fantasy Tactics, where they had the bright idea that random encounters in that game are always scaled up to your level, but all the story battles are not. And so I would just do random encounters until I was ridiculously high level. Goldmen still do damage, apparently. I just remember, like, the end boss being a joke. So I just roll up, like, way over leveled. Pretty much every story battle was a joke, because, again, way over leveled. Alright, well, I think that's enough of me talking for now. I'm talking for, looks like 39 minutes just on this clip, so we'll go ahead and do a jump, or... actually, I'll take a look at the time here. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do a... Yeah, I'll be a good boy. We'll go ahead and be done for this clip, and then we'll come back and need to grind out 2 more levels. I'll probably do less talking. Try to keep the video from being too long. Alright, back for the last round on this video. Level 18, 115 hit points. Just went back and got more MP. And then my basic strategy is going to be more of the same. I'm going to head into Hawksness, fight a couple people right here in the entrance, and then I'm going to turn around and heal up on the outside whenever I need to. But I'm getting more and more out of this because these guys aren't doing as much damage as they used to. So I suspect, especially since I only need a little over 2,000 XP to level up to level 19 at this point, I suspect I won't even need to go back to town at all. So I'll go ahead and do a jump here. This video is already long enough. And we'll jump ahead probably to when I have level 19. Alright, level 19's not quite here yet, but wanted to show you the full gameplay loop. Star Wyverns are still a pain in the rear, so sometimes they'll run. Sometimes it's not worth it, they pound on me anyway. Whatever. We'll just fight it. They still are annoying because of their heal more spell. They are more manageable because you can sometimes two-shot them. But the encounter rate here in Hoxus is actually lower than the desert outside. So if you get a little bit of good RNG, you can get fully healed up between the fights. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Just hang out in the entrance. Hope for good RNG. And in this case, the good RNG is not too many random encounters because Erdrick's armor is healing me up in between. And I'm basically 2 or 3 shotting just about everything. Bad RNG and a wizard can put me out of commission, so I gotta be careful here. 26 damage is a lot, but I 2-shotted him. I'm gonna go ahead and risk it and go for one more enemy. You can see their encounter rate's fairly low, so I got a decent amount of hit points back there. And the dragon does 12. Alright, still being a little gutsy here, so it's the werewolves and dragons aren't bad. Wizards are pretty bad if RNG goes against you and you don't two-shot them. That was pretty weenie hit too, so Green Dragon got 3 good hits in on me. And that'll maybe we'll just go ahead and show you because this is a little bit too close for comfort. So when my hit points get low, I leave Hawksness and I actually walk all the way over to the grass because I had lower encounter rate. And I'll just wander around until my hit points are back up to 115. Getting there pretty quickly. And there's that RNG. No encounter, no encounter, no encounter. Alright, gonna walk back to Hawksness. And getting really close here. It's gonna be about 5 or 6 more enemies, I think. Six or 7, I think. Yeah, I'll go for it. These guys are just annoying because they heal more. And they must have high, I don't know what it is, if it's agility that stops you from running or what, because I remember a couple of my earlier runs were ended by Star Wyverns not letting me run away from them. Oh goodness. These guys are the most annoying here. I still have 80 hit points, so I'm still good for a while. The werewolf literally didn't even do as much damage as I healed between the last battle and this one. Yeah, I'm actually healing up to full. And it's only going to get better and better. I might actually end up over-leveling to go fight the Dragonlord because that's a little bit more my style. I like being OP when I go fight the big boss. But we'll see. I'm at full HP. And it's actually getting easier to level up as I go because the cost to level up is not going up, but the enemies I can defeat are dropping more and more XP as I'm getting better at it. So my original goal is level 20, but I think we could easily go past that and just make the final dungeon a breeze. It already is fairly easy in my opinion, especially knowing that you don't have to fight everything. You can run away from things that are too tough. Alright, there's the level up. Power by 2, blah, speed by 2, blah, hit points by 15, very welcome. Magic point 7, and last spell in the game is Hurt More. Alright, so my attack power and defense did not go up much, but every little bit counts, and well, just gonna keep going. It's not gonna change my tactics much because I didn't gain that much power, so I'll fight in Hawksness and then I'll step outside to heal when I need to. So anyway, we're gonna jump up again until I get to level 20, I think, now that I've shown you the strategy at least. Yeah, it's still taking me 2 to 3 shots to kill a Star Wyvern. Ugh. That's what makes these guys so annoying. Ugh, they are the worst. That's why if I could consistently run from these guys, I would. They're just so annoying. By the way, the amount of time it took me to level up there from 18 to 19, Snake, it was around 30 minutes of real life time, so it's not that bad. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do that jump. We'll see you at level 20. Alright, getting close to level 20. You might notice I am down 20 magic points from last time we checked in. And the problem enemies continue to be the Star Wyverns. They'll take 2 hits, cast heal more. They'll take 2 hits and cast heal more. The Star Wyverns are a real pain, so once my attack power is high enough to consistently 2-shot them, things will be a lot different. And then the wizards, they're hurt more. Again, with that RNG, if they can get 2 hurt mores in like this, I'm down to 52 hit points. And then if I get attacked again right after that before I can reset my HP, and my cat meowing at me again, of course. But why? I don't know why a cat. I don't know why I got a Devon Rex, because they just come over and meow really loudly when they want your attention. Anyway, yeah, the wizards are the ones that will drive me off to go recover my hit points, or if I can't get away fast enough, then I actually have to use magic points to recover. So I'm hoping level 20 is a better boost to attack power, because I consistently 2-shotting the enemies in Hawksness. If that becomes a thing, that'll be a big bonus. And these wyverns out here, that used to be a really good source of XP, they're only 24, and the enemies in Hawksness are between 40 and 50. I one-shotted a Wraith Knight, that's pretty cool. But yeah, the encounter rate in Hawksness is pretty good. It's just with the RNG, you don't know if you're going to get attacked once every 3 steps, or whatever, or 3 times in 1 step, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you don't know how often you're going to get attacked. I've done an entire loop around the town, no attack, and I've been attacked every step, so... Alright. Shouldn't take too many more. I know at some point people start leveling up on the Axe Knight. I don't know at which point that becomes the best choice. Maybe level 20 I'll go try it just to see what that's like. Currently I'm counting on the encounters not being every step I take so I can heal in between the encounters. And I'd rather do that than have to teleport all the way back to town and then come back. But let's see. We'll get to level 20 and then we'll try out the Axe Knight and see what the fuss is about. Yeah. These Star Wyverns aren't that hard if they just don't use their heal more. Or at the very least you can 2-shot them. Like if I start with 37 points of damage, yeah, I can finish him off. Alright, 2 more encounters. Come on, big level up. Come on, big level up. And by the way, I think that was about another 30 minutes or so of real time, so yeah, the grinding gets a little tedious, but it's not that bad. I mean, you're getting your money's worth out of this game. And there is definitely a real visceral feeling of getting more powerful in this game. I've always liked that. I've mentioned it many, many times, that the feeling that an enemy that used to bully you, you just come and you just defeat them. Power 4, speed 2, magic points 13. Yeah. This is where we're getting, you know, it's getting really... I'm pretty sure I could take on the Dragonlord, no problems at this point. Well, we're gonna try the Sax Knight. If he kills me, so what? I'll just lose half of 52,000 gold, which is just burning a hole in my pocket anyway. Alright, so 30 points. He casts Sleep. 13 damage, I woke up. Okay, so I two-shotted him. Gives a little bit more experience than the wizards. Let's just see. 26, 24, 27. So I'm not consistently two-shotting him. And if he were to put me to sleep right there, that could have been fatal. I don't know that that would be the most efficient for me yet. But, let's see. I don't think I mentioned yet, it was 4,000 XP to level up that time, but I think that's the highest it ever gets. Yeah, because it's going to be another 4,000 for the next one. Yeah, let's do another time bump and let's go for level 21. I'm addicted to being more powerful. I'll just heal up out here, back to Hawksness. My attack and defense didn't go up that much, so I think we're going to stick to the same strategy. I bet one big thing was that magic points was a pretty big bump. But alright, we'll check in right before level 21. Okay, here's a reminder to not get cocky. So what happened was I was fighting a werewolf. He dodged me 2 times in a row, got me down to pretty low hit points. Then I took one step and a wizard attacked me and nailed me twice with Hurt More, and I died. So I'm not reloading, it's just... there's no point. I'm just lost half my gold, which is pointless, but just want to point that out there. RNG will be RNG. You have a werewolf dodge 2 times and then immediately get attacked in the next encounter. Of course I should have cast Heal More at that point, but I didn't, so now I'm out. The cost of a repel spell. Half my gold, which doesn't matter, and the time it takes to get me back there, so... Anyway. Try to be more efficient here. Alright, just checking in right before level 21 again. My strategy's changed a bit. I'm not leaving Hawksness anymore. So I'm just fighting, walking around in a loop, fighting, walking around a loop. And then if I get some bad RNG where I take a lot of damage, I'm just doing Heal More, and I've only had to do that once since I died, so that was just a really bad RNG that caught me, that killed me, and obviously I should have used Heal More before I died, but I didn't. But yeah, this is the current gameplay loop. I'm not leaving Hawksness at all. Just walking in circles. And it's been about, let's see, another... I don't think it's been quite 30 minutes. Should probably actually look at the clock better so I know I'm not telling you wrong things. But yeah, it's... like I said, the amount of experience to level up, it's gone up to 4,000, but it's remaining consistent, and then now that I'm not leaving Hawksness, the leveling up part is going much more smoothly. And the little bumps I've been getting in attack and defense have been leading to more two-shotting. Not consistent yet, but it's been really helpful for the wizards and the star wyverns that if I can two-shot them, then I'm taking a lot less damage and I can stay in the game a lot longer. Yeah, sometimes I'm doing up to 41 points of damage. So even if I have a weak hit, like a 20-point damage, if I do 40 on the next one, then like most of these enemies have about 60 hit points, give or take. So as long as one of my hits is a good hit, I can afford for one of my hits to be a kind of a weak hit. And 34 is great. Yeah. Alright, one more enemy, I think. Yeah, so this strategy is working out great right now. Power by 3, speed by 2, hit points by 11, magic by 7. Yeah, so the attack and defense is not skyrocketing up each level anymore, but it's still pretty decent. Yeah, and it's just 4,000 for the next one, so I'm incrementally better, and it's only 4,000 to get to the next level again. So you guys don't understand, as a grinder, by nature, I'm a grinder. It's hard for me to walk away from this, because the grinding's getting easier, not harder. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I said level 20, and I'm level 21. Being indecisive. I think I might just go ahead and do... You know, I'm probably high enough level. I should probably just save the game, and then next time we can just go fight the Dragonlord. He's really not that hard. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I'm just addicted to grinding. Let's see, and I have 6 herbs, so that'll take care of that. So that's it. I'm gonna go get my magic points back. I'm gonna save the game one last time. And then next time we're off to go fight the Dragonlord. Primarily my strategy there, because I'm able to fight. So like the first floor of the Dragonlord's castle is going to be basically the same enemies as Hawksness. So what I'll probably do is go ahead and stand and fight those guys, and then occasionally use an herb to top off when Erdrick's armor is not giving me enough. I do want to save almost all of my magic points for the Dragonlord, and then as I get down below, there's going to be even tougher enemies. So there's stone golems and armored knights and higher level of dragon, like blue dragon, red dragon, all them. Those ones I probably am going to run away from, but we'll see. Like I said, the main thing is to save the magic points. Then I feel like if we have at least 80 magic points when we get to the Dragonlord, I think we'll be okay. So I think that's what we'll do. But that's going to be it for today. We'll make an assault on the Dragonlord tomorrow or next video, whatever that is. And then if that fails, maybe I'll grind more, but it shouldn't be that hard, I don't think. See you next time.